And greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Here we are. I am Monster to Mermaid, and this is Minecraft with the Minecolonies mod and a bunch of other mods. We're actually up to 80 different mods on this Minecraft world. And it's very fun. It makes it very fun. And we've been very lucky, and I do mean that. It's not really lucky. We have followed Minecolonies pack as much as possible, but Minecolonies themselves, the developers, aren't necessarily interested in furniture the way I am. They do furnish their places, and they do a really cool job of furnishing their places too. I really love their vanilla designs, and it's really fun to have them, especially if I'm in the middle of building a city and I can't necessarily take the time to work on each individual apartment. Now, sometimes I pull all the stuff out of the apartment, but most of the time, if I'm doing that, I try and wait until I'm really going to work on it. Because if I don't work on it, then it's empty. If I leave what's there, then there is some furniture, and that's the way I like to do it. Now, we've had an interesting thing. Let's see what time it is. It's nighttime. So I noticed something, and it's very curious. I imagine it has to do with the distance, but it begins to seem like favoritism, because I have a builder who is building domes, which have nothing to do with the quality. Well, they're a luxury, let's say that. They're building domes, and they have all of their white concrete already. All of it. They have 714. They need. Wait, they only need 114, and they have 714? Hold on. Request pickup. We're going to have some of this picked up. There are other people who have been waiting for white concrete for weeks of their time, this city's time. They've been waiting for weeks. And what we ended up doing, we had 3 times 9 is 27 saddles that our fishers had pulled out of the sea. In other words, it was probably a shipwreck or several wrecks, but 27 saddles we had, and we sold those saddles to get tomatoes, nether peppers, compost, because we are short right now, and lilies, because we can't wait to make the compost for the amount of lilies we need to make white concrete. So right now, Raquel, who is our crusher, she is turning gravel into sand. And let's see how much gravel we have. So this morning we had about 12,000. So we're still getting gravel coming in. And then how much sand do we have? We have only 3,000 sand. So that is what Raquel is doing. She's actually crushing the gravel into sand for the concrete mixers to make concrete, and the glass cutters to make glass. So we need quite a bit of sand. Are we going to import it? I don't think we need to, but if we did need to, what we would probably sell, books. Let's look at our books. We have a ton of enchanted books that we don't use here. This is a peaceful nation, and we actually don't need these books. But these books are worth a lot on the open market. They are largely effective on the open market, and so we could probably sell all of these books and get as much of what we need as possible. So at any given moment, we'll probably sell like 2 rows, which would be 18, or a full chest would be 27 books, and just be able to buy whatever we want after that, because we're going to get a lot in exchange for these books. Now, how is that working in Earth? As far as Earth is concerned, I am playing Dungeons and Dragons with my creative build, and I like to do that. So I'm not just, creating everything. I like it to seem like at some point they are making enough things, which they are, to return the loan that my nation gave them in order to start the colony, and then, of course, continue. And while we're talking about this, why don't I go over here? Nope, let's go this way. We're going to look at the domes that Case has put in. We're still doing some dome maintenance, whereby the last 2 domes that were put in, they actually had false ceilings, and when we remove the ceiling, they're going to start leaking. So we have one dome here, and the other, oh, I saw it just then. The other one is over here. So the mahogany, I think, is almost done as of this morning. Dun, 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 dun. But you can see it's leaking, and it's the leaking that we have to take care of. And all we really have to do is fix the blocks and make them whole glass blocks instead of just partial stairs. A lot of this is stair, and we just can't use stair for sealing underwater. It just drips, and that's just all there is to it. So we have a couple of pieces we still have to fix, and I'm going to do some of that. But before I do, we have a couple of jobs that we're waiting for our kids to finish school, and they were pretty close this morning. Most of them were in 3rd year. The parents all went back to work, I think, except Zio. Zio didn't go back to work because Zio actually is doing the fitness center, which means she would live there and she'd never see the kids. So we wanted to give her as much time with the kids as possible. But as soon as they have jobs and go on their way, then she will go back to working as in the athletic center with the other 4 Druids who work there. Michael and Eli. Michael is the dean of the university, and Eli is in charge of the Museum of Natural History. And it was Eli who was helping Zio raise her 2 kids. We still don't know who the father is. Maybe we'll find out. But right now, Eli agreed to do it. And let's come over here. We've got some people who, oh, you know who that is? That is Atticus. Atticus is back from the nether. This morning he had a nether trip. We're going to pause him because I don't know how injured he is. Although, look at that. Nice. He had a really good trip. He had a really good trip. That, wow, look, he actually ran into a ghast, blaze, and then of course zombified piglins and hoglins and some magma cubes. He's brought back some things. I'm going to get the uh-oh, It's gone already. Yep, it went to the, I'm almost sure it's the skeleton, the flesh. Yep, it went to the warehouse, so we'll have to get it. We are not allowed to have zombie flesh. We're supposed to be returning it to the skeletons. It is part of the treaty that in order to use any of the flesh, we have to get special permission from them, which requires gold, a lot of gold, in order to use any of their flesh. Other than that, we are returning all the zombie flesh to the skeleton nation. So we're going to go and get that flesh out of the warehouse, especially because I don't know whether it's the case anymore, but there was a time when it was considered a delicacy and people ate it, even though there was a possibility that it would make them sick. They still ate it, and we absolutely cannot have that happen here. So we're going to rush here and just make sure. Now, I don't think it happened anymore in the way that it used to, because what they eat has to be on the menu. And so we can't, I think that makes it that we don't have to worry as much as we once had to about the fact that they would eat it. Now, the bones are different. Bones we have, and they know we have, and they're not as concerned about the bones, but the flesh is something, I don't know what it is about the flesh, why it's important to them, but it is, and so we're just going to give it back to them. So I'm going to put it in my pack for now until I have the opportunity to give it back. This is my story. So this is the story of Arnaaluk, the Druid sanctuary, and the things that I'm talking about have nothing to do with Minecraft or Minecolonies, for that matter. All the story that I'm telling you is my own story, and every once in a while I have to say that so people aren't expecting Minecolonies to be like my colony. And so that's really important. So it is 9 o'clock in the morning. A lot of people are going to go eat. We're going to go up to Messiah for a second. And there goes some people going up to Messiah to get breakfast. It's still breakfast time. And Abdullah just went over to get some breakfast, but he is the baker. And when he gets done with his breakfast, he's going to do some baking. And there's Messiah making takeout lunches for a lot of the makers who make in this area. Uh-oh, that sounds bad, Abdullah. Abdullah, you might need to go and see Laura about that cough you've got there. That does sound bad. Now, this morning when we were checking, we did make sure that they can make white from lilies of the valley, and we can also have them make white from bone. We actually have enough bone that they can make white from bone as well. So let's give them permission to do that. I still feel weird about it. I still feel like it's grave robbing for us. And yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. We have the bone. I would prefer not to use it for things like that, for something as simple as dye. It's much more important in the relationship that we have with the skeletons, and I think that's the best thing that we can do. This building has a dome, and the dome is above water, and so we're not having problems with it leaking. This is the dome decoration block. We don't need that anymore. and we're good to go. I can begin to work on this shop, which hasn't been worked on yet, to put some more things. It is a retail dress shop, and so that's what I'd like to work on. In the same way that this is Messiah's restaurant, which is Aquatica level 5 and a cavern style default level 5 bakery. These buildings are put together in order to create this eating establishment. Now, the Aquatica restaurant has a bakery right here as a part of the build. It just seems too small to me. So with this one, we put in the cavern style. With the other one of those restaurants, we have 2 of them, we put in an arcology. So in other words, we did put in a small restaurant. Hannah and another druid are waiting for something to do, and we'll get to them in a minute. So this is where the bakery would have been, and we would have had a window like that one across the way right here. But we decided to push out, and we now have Leonard, who is working in this arcology bakery level 5, and I think he has enough room. Yeah, he's doing okay. He's getting milk. He is making cream cheese, which is good. And what is that? Those are both cream cheese. So what he's making requires cream cheese, and that's pretty good. I think he's making cheesecake. And so that's really nice, and that's what he's doing. Let's come through here. We're going to see from time to time people who are like her. And what's wrong is they would like some different foods at the restaurant. And Paloma makes food for the restaurant. That's what she does. That's her job.
So what'll it be for you?
But she wants some variety. And right now, with 9 restaurants, I'll have to figure out what it is that would make variety for her where she's going to have food. And I believe it's here that she's going to have food. So let me see what he's missing from his menu. Look at this. He's certainly not missing quiches. He has way too many quiches here. He should only have 3. 1, 2, 3. And he's got more than that. He doesn't have a refrigerator, so we'll give him that extra. The pierogies is fine. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. He should only have 3. And the fish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're just going to have him have 3 of those. We're just going to take the rest back to the warehouse. Now, if that is causing them to deliver more often, we'll see what happens. What a quiche situation. Oh, hey, Mr. Villager. Welcome. How are you? And I'm looking, everything else seems a little within. He's got a bunch of veggie soups. He doesn't need quite that many. And when they have a lot of something, it keeps them from getting some other stuff. And so that's the only reason why I'm a little concerned about it, because we want them to get the rest of the food that they're supposed to have. What in the world could she possibly want? That, how am I? Tudo bem. Tudo bem. Obrigado. E você? How are you? Oh, you're recovering from a cold. Oh, okay. All right. Just recovering from a cold. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, and he's not going home. He's going over to talk to Leonard about some foods. I'm going to put these in the cook's place, and they can be picked up and by the couriers and taken to whoever needs it. So we're going to ask for a pickup right here, and we'll see how that works out. So yes, no, that's a shame. Yeah, the weather is not cold yet. You're not getting your cool weather yet, are you? No, wait. Let me see. How does it work? We're going to summer. Yeah, you should be going to fall. You're starting to have cooler weather, or it hasn't happened yet. I can imagine that it's still pretty hot where you are right now still. And let's come here. So we're going to look for a second at our students. They were pretty close to getting ready to graduate, and we need some who are ready to do some jobs around the city. So we're going to come here and look, and let's see if anyone has graduated. Beatrix is a professor. Fabian is the head librarian for the university. Gray is graduated. Yay! Kari is almost graduated. Patrick is graduated. Renata is graduated. Yay! Zio is actually, if her kids, is Renata graduated yet? Yes. So that means that Zio is going to go back to work at the fitness center, and her kids are going to go off and get jobs. I don't think any of them are actually going to study to be Druids. Let's see if they are. No one's increasing for some reason. If they are here at the university, their mana isn't increasing. So because of that, I think that we're not going to have anyone study, even the ones. Khalid should be studying, but he's going to get a job. And let me see who else. River should be studying, but she's going to get a job. And Hannah is a druid, and she's going to get work. It doesn't pay for them to be at the university right now because their mana isn't going up. And so we're going to find them some work based off of some of the jobs that we still have outstanding. One of the outstanding jobs is a composter, and I believe one of our druids actually took that job, and we can go back and check. Why don't we check for a minute? We have a new composter, and I should make sure that all of their directions, in other words, how they manage their composting shop is up to date. So why don't we go to where it is while it's still nighttime, because it's located just off of one of the sugar farms. It is right here, and this is a level 5 arcology composter. This is our second composter, and Azrael is managing it. Azrael's in a pretty good position to manage it. He has just the right amount, evenness of the skills that he needs, and so he's good to go as far as that's concerned. Let's look at the settings. Produce dirt. Hold on. That's interesting. Turn this off. We want him to do compost. We're not producing dirt. Items to compost. Everything is turned off. So let's do leaves. Leaves. And what he's going to compost are birch leaves. He's going to compost. Let's find the others. Spruce leaves. Dark oak leaves. Did we pass oak? Passed oak somewhere. There was orange oak, jungle leaves. We're not growing these other trees, which is why it doesn't matter. And there's oak. So those are all the leaves that he is going to be composting. And then he is also composting puffers. And we'll turn that on. And he is also composting, let me think, there's something else that we get too much of, but I can't think of it right now. And so, yeah, I think that's it. We don't compost food because, and we don't compost wool. They're too expensive. It's too easy to get a good price on the market for them. So we're not interested in doing that. And so he is set with leaves, with mulch, with leaves and with puffers. And that's what we want him to compost. And so we now have two, Greta and Azrael, our composters. Also back here, this is a level 3 of this right here, and this is what Elena is working on, and this is the level 3 of this farm, this dairy farm. This is a mixed farm. This is actually going to be meat and dairy. I'm going to try and make the other 4 farms just dairy farms and just have this one as meat and dairy, but we'll see what happens. It might be one of those things that's not possible because you need calves unless they're on some kind of medication. They need calves in order to have milk. So we might end up needing the calves in order for them to have milk. And we'll see if these milk requests drop. Right now we have 8 there. And oops, and then Dex, who is here. Let's see how many he has. Nope, not that way. This way. And he has 10. So yeah, so we'll leave them for right now and see. I'm going to request the pickup so that the milk will get picked up. And he definitely has access. So we'll just request it's not, oh, I know what it is. Sorry. Let me see what it's saying. It's saying unable to comply. Okay, and that's the reason. I had that turned off, so I couldn't tell. All right, and so now we do need another dairy farmer, but the farm isn't ready yet. When this is done, when this is level 5, we're going to take a steampunk dairy farm, and we're going to use it to enhance the number of farmers that there are here. Let's look at the farms for a minute and see. Hannah might actually like doing it. We'll see how that works out. Her focus is really high, and she might still want to do something regarding Druids. Almost everyone in your family got a cold recently. Your grandmother's not taking it anymore. Aww. Aww. Yeah, that's terrible when everybody's sick. It definitely is. And River would probably be the best. And let's look here. Let's come to we don't have one up. Interesting. Hold on for a second. We're just going to get the what we need for a moment. There we go. Let's open this so that we can look at the people and we can see who. That's, yeah, it's definitely not fun when stuff like that happens. So let's look and see who. Azrael, let's see if she was scheduled to do something. River thought she was going to be a druid. However, Bentley and Greta raised River. She might like farming better. So we're going to put or dairy farmer. Just as a reminder that that's something she can do. Mr. Villager is saying, I told her, I beg your pardon, we should normalize using masks at home, but she simply hates it and got slightly mad at you. Yeah, masks, unless you have good ones, they can be pretty, it's sometimes hard. If you don't get them right, and if you don't, but you know, and if she liked masks, she'd be working in a hospital, I'm sure. Because hospital people wear them all the time. You know, for all the people who are saying they hate them, hospital people wear them all the time. And they have to, and that's all there is to it. But yeah, let's come back over here. You think people should get quarantined? Well, in Asia, they wear masks when they're sick, and so that they actually do not spread what's going on. That's one thing. Quarantined, it's really hard to quarantine people whose lives depend on them going to a job. And that's always the problem. So Asia's solution way before COVID was masks. When I was allergic to, I'm allergic to cats. And when we first moved to the artist colony where we live, the only place that I could find masks that weren't medical masks were actually Asian masks, and that is it. And actually, it's basically culture in there, and it works. Yes, it works. And culture is cultivated. Culture is cultivated. It is what you cultivate. And so that's why it's called culture. And so in that respect, it is learned historical response to something. And yeah, be it pleasures or food or illness or any of that kind of stuff, it's that. And yeah, so So we've got these kids and they're off, and it's okay if they're off for a little while because they just got done with university. But we're going to find a couple of the other things that can be done. What's more than likely going to happen is they're going to begin to fill in these reception areas for druids. And we could have Hannah. Where's one? I'd almost need to look at all the different places, but I think we should just start doing it. The old times, you do not miss it. Yes, definitely not. Definitely not. Let's see here. So this is one of the central areas here, but I'm trying as much as possible to get the ones that are really busy. So this is the Oaks, but right down here we have one that's exceptionally busy, and that is this one. And this is the Skyrus, if I'm not mistaken. No, this is the Sakura. The Sakura. And so we're going to have Hannah work here. What was that? Did you hear that? I think there was like a horn or something I don't know now. Let's come here and let's have her guard. Nope. Guard, set position. Let's get a tool and let us set it for her to be right there. And so Hannah is going to return. Now the reception druids, are wearing armor, but it is kind of the same as the Queen's Guard at the castle. We're not at war, and yet they're dressed in military stuff, and it's just kind of a tradition thing, and they're druids and they like to do that. So that's why the reception druids are dressed for battle. They are not battling, obviously, and if she's going to jump these, I'm going to bring these down, because in other places they can't, because there's actual pieces there. But for these, they can. And do I want to do this instead? I want to do that. She can still get there, but I almost want to have something on top of that. I do not like when they stand on that stand, and I don't want them standing on the counters. So was it? No. No? I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to have this tree grow out a little bit because we're having it grow down. So we'll have these pieces come here. See how that's dripping there? So we can put these in just to justify the fact that the tree is growing down far enough that she can't stand on that. See? She can't get up on those things, and that's what I want. Let's go to the next one. And so that is Hannah. And Hannah is there in that huge mask. Yeah, she's got a very nice pose. Let's see if we have someone here. We were supposed to get someone to be here. And let me see what's going on here. But we don't have anyone. This one is this area right here where the logistics center and the warehouse is. So we're going to assign one of the kids to here. Renata, let's look at Druid. Technically, Renata is not. And really and truly, I shouldn't. I don't like putting her here. Her mother's an archer, and her mother is working for the fitness center. She doesn't have what it takes to be an archer either. Patrick does. Patrick's has enough to follow his mother into archery, and I think that's what we're going to have Patrick do, that he's going to work at the fitness center with his mom. We need to have 6 so that the fitness center is open 24 hours a day. We don't have anyone for this yet, but let's go do something about Patrick and mom and get them back to work. Zio, Mara, and get them back to work. So we're going to come this way and look. They're archers, and the fitness center is an archery, and so we have to have archers, actual archers, as a part of that training. And we'll come here and we'll look and see. And so here we are right here. I'm going to have to look at, see all these people here who are dissatisfied with their food. That is Nina's restaurant. So we just have to visit Nina's and see what in the world is going on there. So Zio works here already. She is one of the 4 who was here. Annabella, Harry, Zane, Zio, and now we're going to have Patrick here. And then we'll have, I think we can have 6. I don't know. There are 6 beds, but I bet we can only have 5. We should be able to have more than that because they're archers and they should be doubled. But let's manage the workers and see what we've got. And we do not. So we can only have 5. So that means that technically 2 and 2. So only day shift and night shift with an emergency person who Patrick is going to act like emergency for right now until his skills are up higher. And he's going to be with his mom, and his mom's brilliant. So he's going to learn pretty quickly about that. In the meantime, I just did that in the middle of the night, so they're going to move in the next day. And now all we have is, let's come down here and see. If we don't have anything for Renata to do, we might just let her continue doing research until we find something for her to do. So let's come to here. Gray also. Gray is 15 focus. Let's have him stay here as a researcher, whereas Renata is not. Renata's not focused. River, I think we can have River take over one of the spots. I think that what it was focus and mana are kind of low. I just don't like them doing it. So let's have Renata help out Fabian. And maybe we need another set in order to get some more druids. But right now, Renata is going to teach, and she's going to tutor some of the other kids, although Khalid is ready, and his focus and mana is pretty the same as hers. So I'm going to leave the 2 of them here for a while until I see, and Talon is here because he still has one more year of school to do. So does Kari. And so that means that Khalid and Renata are going to be actually, did I hire them? They're actually going to be helping. Everly, did I accidentally click on you? And wait, Everly, you're not supposed to be here. I keep doing that with her. I keep doing that. She's like, I don't work here. I have a bookstore. Don't you remember that I have a bookstore? I'm a bookseller. As a matter of fact. Let's get Renata to go and help her with her bookstore. That's what we'll do. So let's get Renata. And so Renata and Everly are going to work for the bookstore in the hotel. And that's where we will head for right now. And yes, yes, A. And let us come up here. And she's like, why don't you remember? I'm sorry, Everly. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I apologize. All right, so we're going to come back here and we're going to go to the hotel, which is not the tavern. We have the hotel and we have the tavern. I wish they were the same, but they're not. And the hotel is actually a residence, whereas the tavern is where people come in who are visitors. And that's the difference. So, yeah, they do need to have an inn, but they're not gonna. So we're gonna have Everly be here, and Renata is going to be here. So now Renata lives too far away. So let's see if we can find her someplace to live. These are the Witch Hazel apartments here. And she really needs to be able to live like right here somewhere. But we already know that Everly's here. Let's have Everly and Renata live together for right now. I'm going to go up and check the beds. And yeah, we're going to take that bed out. We're not going to have a king-size bed. We'll just have 3 beds here. And they can share this apartment. And across the way here, this is Zaf's apartment, and Zaf is not sharing his apartment with anyone right now. We can ask Zaf if he would like someone to share his apartment when he comes, but right now not. And this apartment is Miranda and Isaac, and I really need to work on their apartment. I really need to do some stuff with their apartment. However, they are happily in bed and everything's good up here. So they just need a kitchen and a living room and a dining room. So we could give them some chairs. Look at this. Look at the glacier behind them. They're in a glacier. So they have this whole area which might allow us to push back and give them a pretty luxurious place, since they are the tree farmers here. And then here, we were just here, so I think, wait, it's this one that we didn't look at. Yes, and this is Michael and Ronald, and they also need some more work done on the place.
Their last name's not Donald.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay, which is interesting. That is Michael, who is either sick or his restaurant is out of food. I'm going to take this away. We actually have a light here. I'll turn the light on in that room. And yeah, so here's another set of apartments that we can work on later. This is the first hour, and we still have 10 minutes to the first hour. Arabella.
So what'll it be for you?
I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. I'm going up and go to sleep. Oh, wait. It's after 6. Everyone's going to be up in 2 seconds. Look at the sun. Look at that. I just love the way that rail, the actual submarine cruise port. We're going to have submarine cruisers come in, and they are visitor resort kind of submarines where they can have sleeping and eating and do all the things. It's almost like a train, except that it's a sub. And they can take those on a cruise. And so that is going to be set up behind the hotel. And it's morning. Let me see what she's doing, and then I will check on Michael. So Zarya is feeding people. I just want to see if she's overloaded. And of course she is. But not so. Oh, yeah, she has way too many of these. Let's take these away and just give her 3 back. She has too many teas. We'll take the 16 away and put it away. We'll put the 16 away. Rices, she's okay. Soups. I think the others are okay for now. Notice she doesn't have any sushi. So let's put those in and those. Now we've got a 64. So we can have those be picked up and returned to the warehouse. And
so what will it be for you?
Yes, I know. I'll work on it. She doesn't have any sushi. And so that's probably what she is complaining about. Let's come and see what's going on with Michael, because Michael is complaining. Let's look at his food. He's got a lot. Is he serving this? Yeah, he is. Let me see how many of these he's serving. Let's put this here. Why am I doing this? There we go. And so that's 3 64s. He can have all of those. He has too many of these. Right here, he only needs 3 of these. How many fishes does he have? Let me get all the fishes. And he has 3. Wait, there's one there. Yeah, so he has 3 of those. And the breads. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, just 3. 1, 2, 3. And then these 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put these back. And we'll leave these things for right now. I'm looking. I know there's 4 of those, but there's only 3 here. And that's the full amount. And Keisha, he has enough. What is your problem here?
Is there
what are you talking about? What is it that you want that you're not getting? You have a ton of freaking food. Does he have any trenchers? He does not. So he doesn't have the one food that we can actually make here, but he is not. he is not serving it. So see this stew trencher here? It's vegetarian, and we're going to have him add that to his menu. Everyone serves stew trencher, and this is the reason why, because a stew trencher, let's come to here. Let's put it here, STEW. A stew trencher, it's not going to show me what it is. Hold on. Let's go here, STEW. Is tomato, cabbage, onion, and bread. We do have to import the tomatoes, but everything else is here. We are cabbage king when it comes to cabbage. That's what we grow here, is cabbage. And so we're going to add that to the recipe and see if we can't get our cooks to begin to supply those. Now they need bread from the bakeries, and we have 4. Oh, there's something that we can do. We have 4 bakeries. That means that we can put someone in the bakery at Raquel's restaurant, and that'll be excellent. So let's come. I think I missed the warehouse. We're going to leave the food at the warehouse and let them sort it out. I'm actually going to put it in a stash box rather than putting it directly in the warehouse. That way it can go to whichever warehouse needs it, because we have 2 warehouses right now, and we'll go that way. Let's go down and see about having a new baker. This is going to be interesting, and Raquel will be thrilled. Now, I did put some of the people into research, and we might have to look at researchers as well as students for this new job. And I should actually check.
Good day to see ya.
You're not getting something? I'll check on Renata. Corinne.
If you say
Corinne's
so.
restaurant is actually responsible for most of the people in this part of town, and we'll check. Let me see what this says here. Bentley, do you have a home? Good. Okay. And so we'll continue down here. Bentley and I wasn't sure. It's not Bentley. It's Brentley and Elsa were on parental leave, but they're back to their places.
Can I
What's
help
wrong
you?
with you? Hi, Tristan. Tristan, why is this leaking? What just dripped? Is that light actually dripping? It sure is. We're not going to be able to have lights up here because they are dripping through. We can have... I don't know that we need this light. Let's see. What do you say? Do you think we need it? Let me see if it looks dark in that corner. It is dark in that corner. Let's put a light. Nah, I don't like that. I would almost rather have the light be here. But all the lights are up high. But they can't be because that light's leaking too. Now these those lights weren't leaking before, so we'll just have to deal. That's all. We'll just have to deal with it. I'll take this down because now I need to have a light like that so that they're not dripping. Okay, and let's go. I don't need these. We'll put this back here. Let's come down here to Raquel's. Raquel seems to be having a little problem as well. And so let's see what her problem is. She definitely has room and she should have enough food. She has different kinds of food, which is good, including yogurt with berries for breakfast. Excellent. And she's got breads, and she's got way too many of these, but it turns out actually to be this many. Let me put that there. So 26 too much. And here we go again with these. And what are we looking at? It's really just 3 of those. There are too many of these. So let's take 2 of these away. She doesn't have a refrigerator like some of the others. Do I want to give her a fridge? I could put it right here. And it looks like it should be in the wall, but there isn't room for it, so we'll just leave it. But she has too many food, and I don't like when they have so much. So we're going to take these away. It seems like they get to a point where they won't serve if they have too much. Everything else looks pretty okay. Oh, this is our bakery right here. So let's look and see who we have. So Fabian is the head librarian. Khalid is would be interesting. It's a 5. Beatrix is she's a builder who's teaching, so she's teaching archaeology right now. Kari doesn't have, see, a 10 and a 2 is that's too contrasty. And Talon is a 6 and a 4. And Talon has graduated. Talon, we could have Talon do it. And then Renata is not interested in this job. We can look at the let's go ahead and look at the researchers for a minute. So we're looking for researchers. And this is this thing where just because you have the ability to be a druid doesn't mean you have to be a druid. That's one of the things about Arnaaluk, is that they don't have to be druids if they don't want to. And there's not so much. Azrael, nope, too much of a difference. And let's find the other researchers. There's Gray. Now Gray actually is pretty good for this job. He's got a 10 and an 8. Let's find our other researchers. Michael's the dean of the university. Whoop. Nope. Eli works at the university. So I'm looking for one last set of researchers, if I'm not mistaken. They're in alphabetical order. There's just 4 or 5 groups of them in alphabetical order, but that's it. So that was Gray. That was Gray that we saw. So let's go back to the top. This is Khalid. And let's find Gray again. Because I think that he has the best, he's the most even. And if I can't seem to work it out, them being even is good. If I can't find him, I'm just going to go to the school. There he is, Commercial. He's a Gamershal. Gamershal is an old name, and I've had at least 2 other cities with large families of Gamershals. So Gray needs to live in this area, and we are out of housing here, I think. Let's see who's here. This is Cadence, Avery, and Mildred living here. And this is couple. This is Logan and Ryan living here. Let's see who lives here. This is Edison, Tristan, and this is where he would have to live. I beg your pardon. He would have to live here with them. So we have the women living in that apartment, the men in this apartment. Let's see what the beds look like here. So we have a bed here. I can fix that. We have a bed here, and I think I'm just going to do the bunk beds right here for them. Let's get Paladin has bunk beds. Nope, no. Bed. And let's look at what would we like to have here. It's kind of dark looking right now. Simple what? What's a simple bed? Oh, as opposed to the others. And this is black. Simple bed of what kind of wood? I kind of like the wood that this is. Why don't we do a cyan of this color? So I need to put this bed down first. Look at that. That's pretty. And then we put this bed underneath, and see, it automatically makes bunk beds. And that's the reason why we're using Paladins. We'll leave them for now, and then I will make this into a single. Lucas! Oi, Lucas! Oi! ¿Cómo está você? How are you? And then we'll get, we'll actually have him move in here. And I think we did already? Yeah, so Tristan is here, Gray is here, and Edison is here, the courier. Now we might have some other couriers come in. We'll see in a moment. In the meantime, I have food on me, remember? And so I'm going to come here. Let's come back here. I'm going down to where right down here, there's actually a stash box here that we can put this food back in, and it can go to the warehouse. Do I have anything else that belongs in the warehouse right now? I do not. Okay. And when people wake up, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, their time. And so, hi, Lucas. How are you? How are you? And this is Steffi's restaurant here. And we can look and see how she's doing. She's doing okay. She has too many of these. We'll let her have these, and we'll take this and put into one of her cabinets. So we'll put this here. We'll say that cabinet has some refrigeration in it. These are fine. These are all fine. She doesn't have a lot, but she at least has some ramen. She has quiches, and she's doing okay. We could add the stew trencher, which she has on her list. So either we need another cook, or I need to go and check both of these cookeries. That was interesting. The cow heads look like dog heads for a moment. I was thinking, where do we have a dog? But they're cows, actually. And remember this. We had someone who was supposed to be a farmer, and that was Patrick. Does Patrick still... Ooh, this might be interesting to see if Patrick wants to work with his mom, or if he wants to be a farmer back here. Let's look at no. Let's look at Patrick for a second. We should find archers or trainees. There's an archer squire. So there's 2 of them. Archer squires. Let's find 2 more archer squires. I didn't see any in that group. Wait, there's the alchemist. I'm looking for A's. And we're on to the next. Oh, and we're on to the next. And oh, builder. If I don't find him, undertaker. Let's go back up to the top and let's look for a second. I missed him. If I don't, there's Annabella. I don't think I'm going to be able to. There's Harry. There he is. Okay, so he's a 14 and an 8. So let's come here. Khalid is 6 and 9. Kari is 9 and 4. See, Talon's 11, so it's upside down. Everly and Renata. So he's the farmer. So he has decided, and he's just gonna tell his mom that I love you and I like being an archer, but I just like it as a hobby. I don't want to do it as a full-time job, is what he is saying, and he is Patrick. So let's find Patrick for a minute, and we'll bring him down here to do that job. So let's come. I know it's going to be hard. There's Harry. There is Patrick, and we're going to hire him here. Okay, so Patrick is going to work this mint field for the time being, and he is also going to help in here. So there should be, and we're going to look at this right now, we have 3 fields of the 5 that they're doing, and one of these fields isn't being done by anyone. Let's see which one it is. And I think the easiest way to do that is to look at him right here. And there we go. So he's going to do one of the Durham wheat fields. And like that. So this is good. And we'll do that. And there you are. Yay, Patrick. Now, Patrick doesn't have any place to live. And we could put Patrick in
I'm waiting for
the
something.
dorm. Wait, you're waiting for something? Hold on a second. Let's set him up. No, turn that off. And now he needs a couple things. So we'll have him get add to minimum stock, farm instruments. So we'll do a farm instrument. He's just starting out, so I think we'll do stone and see if he can use it. We'll do 3 stone, and let's select. And so he needs that in order to work the fields. And then we'll see if he can do it pretty quickly. We are waiting for Danny to be done with what he's doing, and then we can have him work on that farm. And what is Danny working on? The other place where we needed people. And so we're going to come down here and look. This is Evelyn, and this is Edison. I was thinking it was Edison. Edison and Evelyn are running this warehouse, and we still need how many more? Let's see. We need 5 more couriers for this warehouse and 1 more courier for the other warehouse. And I think the 10th courier is important. We're going to do the 10th
right
courier
away
first. And let's come back here and let's see what Raquel's problem is for a minute. Left for a read, left to read a little. Okay. Yes. Yes, you can. Let's come here.
It's a fine afternoon.
And let's just look at what she's got. And there is our new baker. Let's do a couple things here. The fuel is birch, and that is on. And minimum stock. Let's have a minimum stock of 1 stack. We could do 3 stacks of butter, but let's try butter. Let's just do a stack of butter for a minute, and let's have that be there. Let's add a stack of eggs, and let's add a stack of durum, and that should get him started. And these are decoration. Because this is our ecology, this is the only storage in this location right here is this. And so we can't fill it up too much because of that. But right now he has nothing. So we'll leave, and Raquel is waiting for food. And now I'm going to come here and look and read what's on chat. As possibly settled, me and the other Masons were discussing what could be our village be centralized based on our most traditional plains town centers, and I would like to hear from me. So let me understand this. A normal village, a normal Minecraft village, the center of town is the bell, is a bell tower or a well and a bell. And is that correct? Is that the part that you're talking about? Just so that I understand. And I'm going to wait for his answer for a second. Thoughts, sorry, words, limits. That's okay. That's all right. I understood you. And it's okay. You speak more English than I do Portuguese. So no worries. No need to apologize. Okay, guys. So we did do the research at the university for them to walk faster. Yes, a bell, but most of them are sitting somewhere, and you got a little curious of what would be my thoughts. Mostly they're sitting somewhere. Schematic of ours. Okay. All right, you send me and I'll look at it. And take your time and I'll look at it and see. And do we want these trees to grow out? Have them begin to grow a little bit towards the center. I like the idea of that. Let's not. Let's just leave that. All right. Things are okay except for Cadence. Cadence, what is the matter? Ooh, nicely done. Look at you. You've got some. What's going on here? Where's your... Hold on a minute. Why don't you have... Oh, yeah, that's right. You just have this. Okay. So she's almost ready to get some concrete actually mixed, as we can see. She's got 2 right here, and she has plenty of... We actually, this morning, made the delivery ourselves from the warehouse. To get the concrete mixers going. We delivered to the concrete mixers 9 stacks of sand and 9 stacks of gravel so that they could mix. We also gave the glass cutter some stacks of sand, and let's see how this is going. There's nothing here. Let's look here, and he still has some. Let's look and see if there's some lessons he can learn from the cutter, and there is. We're going to have him learn the fancy door that's needed for one of them, and so we'll put that in. And I'm just taking the bowls just so that they don't fill up the place. We'll put that there, and that takes care of that. This is the mechanic. Now Danny is working on that one, and when he's done we need him to work on this. So he's got his work cut out for him. One of these he's already trying to make into a level 5, which means he's waiting for concrete to make them into a level 4. And then the level 5, he builds the actual submarine. And so that is what we're waiting for Danny to do with this area. And let me get her. And this is Bailey. Yes, Bailey, I know. And just get her. Just acknowledge. I like to acknowledge that I've actually seen their request. And Greta is making compost. She does have some. We gave her a bunch of leaves, and now she's empty. And that's the problem, that we don't have anything for her to compost. We are such a clean community that we actually don't have anything for her to compost. We only compost wheat seeds, beetroot seeds, pufferfish, but everything else is just leaves. We don't compost food. We don't have the other stuff that they have here, and we don't compost food, period. The end. Food is given to other needy, other people in need of food, and there's always that. so we don't worry about doing anything with the food except making sure that other people can eat it. So our submarine takes food out specifically to villages, especially villages that have been impacted by players, specifically to feed them, because a lot of times their beds are gone, their vegetables are gone, and things like that. Their chests are gone. And so we come in and make up the difference for that. So let's come here. I see some people here. It is not quite late enough for me. Where could I sleep in this area? Let's see. This is the Skyrus apartments here. So we are close enough to downtown that I can do, I beg your pardon, one of two things. But I need to go to both. So why don't I start here? We'll go down here and I'll sleep in this little station down here. Now this is used to be a Druid station. This used to be a level 5 alternative cavern guard tower, but now it is not a guard tower. It is just a quarters for me, actually. It's just quarters for me because this guard tower went up too soon. I was used to having these that I could build very early on, and then I realized it was going to affect the food system. So we backed this one out, but it was already integral to this area, because it was put into this hallway, and these other hallways were a part of its location, and so we decided to just leave it as a place where I can sleep if I want. Let's go back to Corinne for a moment. I just want to see, here she is. Corinne is in the Skyrus apartment complex, and she is right here. And it is morning, so when they come, we'll see if she is serving everybody. And hold on for a second. Let me go to Discord and let's see what's going on. If I have anything as of yet. I don't. And all right, so we're waiting still for Mr. Villager, and there she is. She is feeding people. She's not happy with her food, but everyone seems, Hallie does. She did get something to eat. She just isn't happy with it. Let me see what you're missing for just a second and see if we can, yeah, this is what we looked at before. So she's got stew trenchers, so of course she doesn't want any. We're not serving pizza here. We're not serving sushi. So I don't know what she's going to do because we're not serving those things. If you want those things, go to the restaurant that serves them. And that's my squawk right now. That's what I have to say right now. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Wait, did we put him somewhere? We did not. We got distracted. Oh my gosh, poor Patrick. Patrick's homeless. Now we have too many people living here. Nola, Lena, Everly, Daniela, Marcel. Let's have, this might be too far for Marcel. Daniela might be able to. Nola might be able to. So let's manage. I'm going to have Nola and Daniela come out for a minute. I want to see if they can live over here where Patrick is. Because if they can, we've got apartments, actually houses over here. It's pretty mediocre, but it's the best one that you have for the moment. Okay. And let's come here and see how close these people are. So Patrick's fine here. Nola and Daniela are too far away almost. So Patrick's going to end up living here by himself, and he's going to think wow, this is pretty big, Patrick. You've got this whole house to yourself. We could make it more realistic, and maybe we will, and we'll put Patrick in this house right here. This is a level 1, and we'll put him here to start out until Danny gets back here and can start. And in just a second, I'll check on what Mr. Villager sent me. I just need to get the ladies back into their dorm rooms right here, so that if they want to go home, they have some place to go. So there we go, and we'll leave them for now. So yeah, they could live there. It is far for them, and that's part of the problem with putting anyone back here. What we could do is have Greta and I think Greta and Bentley could live here. Let's look and see for a second. Let's come here. Steffi's not bad. Bentley's 57 and Greta's 57. So they're both at the ultimate limit of where they can be. They probably love the house that they're in already, and they're very close. But if they moved here, they'd actually be making room for other people to live closer to where they are in case we needed people to do that. Right now, since Patrick has a place by himself, we'll just leave it. But when the time comes, if we need some more space, we are more than likely going to move them here. Why? Because this is where Bentley works, right here, right there. And this is where Greta works, right here. So even though it says they're 57 away, that's what kind of 57 we're talking about. She works right here. And sure, they're spoiled by living right across the street here, but they would understand. We would have to think about it as they wanted a bigger house. And let's look and see. Interesting. I see that. And that's curious, those two different types. You asked my opinion, so this is what I would say. There are a couple of new styles that show villages having sort of like a little market area where the bell and the well are. So to have a well, not necessarily up on a hill, but at the center of town, and then to have a market around it, and then have then between the bell and the market would be shopping. So there would be places where that would look like that they would come and sell their wares. I don't know how that would actually work for real in your position, but just as an idea, if you wanted to, you could make it look like they had a little farmer's market, or a little area where a farmer's market is probably the best way to look at that. Hold on for a minute. Lane, what's the matter? What are you trying to do?
Good day to you.
Good day to you. What? Okay, thank you. What is going on here? Is there a piece missing from here? It almost looks like there's a piece missing there. I'm going to bring this over. I know it means that if he gets stuck in here, so
What a beautiful
for instance,
sky.
if he comes
Look at those
down
clouds.
here to work on something, he has to go this way. Let's do this. And that way, this is not hot. This is a mixing bowl. So we can look at this. This is a mixing bowl right here. This is the ovens. And if he falls down into this area, he can actually get up here. If he falls down over here, which he really can't, but if, yes, he can't get over to fall down into here, and he can't fall from here. So these are the only places we have to worry about. And which village doesn't have, huh? You liked their cakes when you were a kid. Now we have moved, we don't have cakes. That's a shame. So which village doesn't have that? I don't know. I guess they all do, but that's, you asked my opinion. I think if it looks like they have a little farmer's market area, I've always liked those kind. So that's why I'm saying that's why I'm saying that. I've always liked the ones that look like there's more to them just coming into town besides the bell and the well, that there's also that. Basically, farmers are the true monopoly. Farmers market are the true monopoly. I would say farmers are the true collective. Are the true collective. More than monopoly. I don't know that monopoly is the correct term for the fact that a farmer is growing food, and yeah, that's one of the ways to get food. So in other words, a farmer is not saying to hunter-gatherers, you can't hunt or gather. And monopolies say things like that. Monopolies say farming is the only way to get food. And that's why you probably don't want to use the term monopoly. Wouldn't you agree, Vincentius Primus?
Yes.
And so, yeah, the use of the term monopoly for farmers only works in the United States where there's capitalism, and so we have mega corporate farms, and they are monopolies. But an actual normal farmer is not saying that other people can't farm. or other people have to be a part of their corporation or they can't farm. And that would be closer to the definition of monopoly. That's a better, that's not a good term. Monopolies aren't good. So, yeah. They may make it sound like they're good, but they are not. And up until the 60s in the United States, or the 70s, we actually had antitrust laws. We actually had laws against monopolies. And those laws got stripped away in kind of the same way as what's happening with some laws now, that they got stripped away, promising people that things would be better. And so we can see what happened with that. So yeah. Let's come. Good. But yes, that would be the thing. If you wanted to do something like we did, Mr. Villager, one of the pretty things would be, remember that beautiful little park that you made for that little section of Prasino with the little pond and the benches around and that kind of thing? You could actually do that with the bell in a tower in the center, you know? And you could have it be like that if you wanted to. And that would kind of be that would be kind of fun too. So there's a bunch of different things that you could do. I like both of those. They're definitely a spine. They're necessary. Farms are necessary for the way we live. A village with no farmers is not a village. That's correct. So you have to have farmers. And that is a different definition than monopoly. So, yeah, absolutely. A monopoly is when someone collects all the businesses and under one name or one package, with the intent of not having anyone else do it but them. And farmers are not saying that someone else can't farm. Farmers are just farming. And so that's why. And yes, you're absolutely right. For villages, farmers are the backbone of villages because you have to eat. Farmers are the backbone of everything because we have to eat. We're not hunter-gatherers anymore. And so, yeah, we have to eat. So we're dependent on farmers in that way. And so are the villages of Minecraft and our mods that we have. After every village has became isolated, probably many have perished. Every village became isolated, maybe many have perished. What does that mean? What do you mean? Are you talking about the history of villages, or are you talking about in relationship to what we're talking about? What do you mean? Because, yeah, without farmers, the village would have to move on because everyone would starve unless you had hunters or fishers or something like that And I don't know that that's what villagers eat. Do villagers eat fish? Do they eat fish? I mean, those who didn't have any definitely failed on survival, without a doubt. Without a doubt, the way Minecraft, the world is set up, farming is a necessity. It's a necessity. Like you said, it's definitely a necessity. And so, yeah. Yeah. So here I am. We have one more hour. It seems like almost everybody is doing something. Some people are still waiting for materials. It's sunrise. This is one of the beautiful places for a sunrise, coming up right here where Arabella is sitting and watching the sunrise right here is so gorgeous over the sunken ship. And it's really beautiful in this area. Look at that. Those are glaciers. You don't fish to let it rot at your homes. Even those at home the entire day. Those who didn't. Yeah, you don't fish. Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure, if you don't have enough people eating fish, that would not be good. And let's come here. I don't really associate what you doing. Are you just enjoying the flowers? You smelling the flowers? I think she was. She was smelling the flowers. Zarya isn't here yet. She'll be down in a minute. There she is. And she's hungry. And there goes Everly. Everly is on her way to work. Wait a minute. Where's our kid? Where do we put our kid? Hold on. Do we have room to put our kid here? Let's look here and see. Zora's here. Michaela's here. Zari is here. And we just brought Renata. Renata could live here. Let me see what this looks like. We might not have, might not like this. So we have an apartment here. We have an apartment here. 1, 2, 3. And here is the big one. Let's take one of the beds out of here. And okay, so 4 people can be here. Let's see how many people we have actually here. This is the back. So let's go to the front and see. Yes, I opened up the whole place. We have 4 already. With Michaela, Zora, Renata. Yay! Okay, so right now they are staying in the hotel until the hotel opens. When the hotel opens, we're going to have to find them someplace to live. They can't live in the hotel. This is the bathrooms for these rooms. And we'll come here and close this door. And then we'll come around here and go through here. Right now we have to go through the bathroom to get out. When the place is finished, we can do we'll be able to have doors come downstairs from an elevator on that side as well. Let's go look at Mauricio for a minute. We also don't butcher animals just to let them hang and then attract silverfish unnecessarily. At least we don't need a quick stone demolishing, right? Yeah. Okay. I can understand both of those. Hello, you. And she's bringing some things for Mauricio to serve. And that is one of the couriers there waiting for Mauricio to make him breakfast. And then he will eat. And what are you cooking? This is new that they're baking the bread. That is most interesting. That they're having the restaurants bake the bread. That's new. They weren't doing that before. So that is a brand new thing that's happened. And so they're getting fresh baked bread and muffins. How nice to go with their food. And that is very cool. That's very cool. Okay. So that courier is off. I believe that's Ezekiel. And we can look and see
Hi, Builder's
what...
Party.
Hi,
They
River.
raised the roof.
What's going on? Have you gotten any of it? Yellow. Yellow concrete. So let's go look at yellow for a minute. You prefer every game as secretly realistic methods to deal with stuff, like city builders by itself, like a house costs 2 wood and 3 mud bricks. Of course, a house won't cost just that. So I see. Well, what if it's, what if in Millionaire, if they're saying a house costs 2 wood and 3 mud bricks, what if that is just almost like money? It's not the actual amount of wood that's going to go into the house or the amount of mud bricks that's going to go into the house. It's just a saying. Many times you prefer to translate these costs to things like tons and then a lot more. I agree. And that's what I would say. So it would be 2 tons of wood and 3 tons of mud bricks. I like that a lot. That's nicely done, Mr. Villager, as a dungeon dragon. That's definitely a cool way of doing it. Absolutely, I totally agree. I completely agree with that. That sounds cool, actually. Yeah. What you waiting for?
So what will it be for you?
Are you eating?
Wow. You are
Kind of. You
so
are.
wise.
Okay. What? What was that you just said? And you are still waiting on stairs, and I have yet to get them to make stairs. So we'll see what happens this time if they do. White concrete, these are panels, if I'm not mistaken. And so we'll see about those as well. But you think that Millionaire does the reverse, but you think it's still realistic because instead of requiring things like stairs and slabs, their devs basically relieved it, converting it to just... Oh, I see. Yes, they did. I agree. The way Millionaire does it is they're just saying 2 wood and 3 mud bricks, but what you're doing is putting that it's 2 tons of wood and 2 tons of 3 mud bricks, or 2, and I like ton because that way they're closer to being the right amount than saying, if you say 200,000 or 2K or something, then see you're adding more. That's harder to do. So I like it that. I agree. I definitely do. Yeah. To just require entire blocks, and actually what makes it still realistic, because if we think We just need to sculpt a quarter of the entire block to make a stair, and that's what you consider most cool. And that's fine, yeah. And that works for Millionaire in the way that Millionaire is set up. That doesn't work here. We're actually using the materials to make the places here. So ours is different from yours, but I actually understand yours. And Mr. Villager, if I was playing Millionaire, I would probably do exactly the same thing that you're doing. That even though it says that in order to build a house, they need 2 wood and 3 mud bricks, I would change it into whatever, either 200 or 2,000 or something like that, pieces of wood, in order to do it. And I like it. Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's to the bem. It's very nice. I agree with you on that. I agree. I do. What you doing?
It's a fine
What
day.
you doing, Zane? Zane, you know something, Zane? Oh, okay. There's Zio. This is either Zio or Annabella. Hi, Annabella. What you guys doing? You're just walking around. You're bored. No one's in the fitness. No one's in the shop right now, and so they're just walking around. Hi, Blood. How are you? Are you
What can I
getting
do
what
for
you
ya?
need? You wish they had more of a variety. You do. You have quiche on you. You know, you're the one who's. Wait. You're the one who's supposed to be making variety. Hold on for a second. Let's look at crafting and see if she knows how to make it. Yep, there it is. A stewed trencher. Right there. They're making all the food. And the bakery is making the dough that goes to the restaurants, and then they bake the bread, which I think it's actually kind of neat because that does give them fresh bread and it gives them something to do as well. And then we have tea and jelly. This is jelly, and then these are teas, water and honey for tea. And that looks good. The pasta looks good. And then we have stuff that we're making out of soy, and we should have soy sauce, and we definitely have tofu. And speaking of tofu, which needs soybeans, let's come here and look. And Mr. Villager is saying to just require entire blocks, and actually what makes it still realistic, because if we think we just need that, right, I read that part. Yes, specific requirements. Basically, you prefer to believe that most of things in the game's universe secretly have small realistic systems inside it. I like that. And Minecolonies definitely is not an exception for you. That's why some of your proposals are related to economy, capitalism, because what are the chances of secretly colonists have to pay for their food? But there is another thing you like about my lore. You say that if they have a great sympathy and kindness at the point of wanting to work but not receiving nothing back beyond food, of course. They have luxuries. I mean, this is the reason why I make the apartments the way I do, in order for them to do that. They have to pay for their food. Yeah, and that's why I say it's like Star Trek. And I know that, Mr. Villager, you're not that familiar with Star Trek and the economy of Star Trek. But if you look at it, they don't, money is not the focus of the reason that they do things. Here, there is the thing, the luxury. They do have things that they want and that they are comfortable with, and art, and they like entertainment, and they have those kinds of things. And this is why when we do apartments, I try to make them as comfortable as possible. So this apartment is what they are getting with the work that they do. So based on everything that goes on, they can request things be for them personally. So for instance, if someone wants to move into this place, these are their personal things in this apartment here. And if they choose to move into an apartment like this, and then this is completely different. You see, this is completely different and designed for the person who lives here. They get a lot of pleasure out of their work. When they're off from work, they go to libraries and they talk to each other and have social gatherings. And of course, there's always food. And that's one of the fascinating things about Minecolonies that I think that's happening, is that food is becoming something that they can look forward to. It's not just meat and potatoes, that there are really interesting dishes that they want to eat. And those kinds of luxuries are the kind that people really want. They want to be comfortable, they want to be able to read, they want to be able to play, and they want to be able to have something that they do that contributes to the whole, to everyone. And that's how we're looking at it. Not too much. Yeah, there really isn't any way for them to have too much in the way that Minecolonies is set up. Technically, the way Minecolonies is set up, every single one of these 9 apartment buildings would look exactly alike. And I don't necessarily like that. I prefer for there to be more of a difference in the places, so that when I go into one, it looks like people actually live here. And that's what I like to do with them. Hold on. Let me come here. This one's still leaking. So let me do something about this for a minute. You believe that villagers are basically the balance between these aspects. You still want the money, but as small, isolated communities with all having to collaborate for it, the empathy is a part of that. In other words, that they're all working together. Oh, you mean not much referring to Star Trek? You don't have too much affinity with it, not yet. And yeah, that's, I know. And it's so interesting, but it is one of those things that Star Trek actually belongs to history. That Star Trek is actually old, and new things are going to come along that are going to be either build upon or go beyond some of the thoughts of what Star Trek had in regards to the way people live their lives. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with everybody in regards to things like that. Who's across here? So these are pretty close together. These haven't been brought out, so we can do with these the thing where these are much smaller apartments, and we're just going to put the kitchen probably in here on this one and have the dining room be here on this one. We can take this away. If I take that away, it's going to get very dark in here, I think. Well, not too dark. Take and drop something down from the ceiling, I think would be fine. Let's come here and get a light. Let's get a lamp. Wait, I saw something light gray. Oh, I have light in, and I should have lamp. AMP. And let's get a paper lamp. Let's get the dark green. And we can put it right there over the table. And we can take this one right here and turn it that way. And so now this table is the table in the house. Is anyone here? Elena is here. Let's look at the upstairs for a minute and see if we have some colors already. We do. We have bright green upstairs. We're going to close this for a minute and look at her place. I love what we did with the table, and I want to do that with this table too. So I'm going to make it white though with this one. So let me get some glass right here, and we do have some concrete available. And let's come here and get one of these, and let's put this down right here, and let's put this in, and this, nope, I need to get this, and we want this one, and we should now be able to put this here like that. So this time with this apartment, we're going to have a white table here like that, which I like. And let's see, but you're definitely not a utopia, not yet. This makes you notice maybe colonists inside my lore and villagers are not that opposite. I didn't think that we were. If we compare the cornerstones and affinities, maybe my people could be what we would call technocrats. I'd have to look that up. I'm not familiar enough with the word technocrat to know exactly what that means. Hold on for a second. Let's find a way. Technocrat. Let's look for the definition. Technocrat. Technocrat. So a technocrat is a technical expert, especially one in a managerial or administrative position. A technical specialist exercising governmental or managerial authority. Nope, that's not a good definition for us because we don't have a lot of managers. We have a lot of makers. So we are really sort of a maker-driven society, which is curious, actually, but we're much more makers than we are. Technocrats are people who manage, and our people are doing less than that. There she is. Hi, Elena. Elena, do you need something to do? Oops, what just happened there? I closed the door in my face. Elena doesn't have anything to do. She's home, resting. Why don't we get her for a minute? You put that interrogation point at the end. It's fine. It's fine. Let's come over here. We're going to get Elena to finish working on that dairy, which is right around the corner here. She is put in the level 3, and let's see. She's now ready to do the level 4. Now this is going to take a lot of concrete. Hi, Rayange. And so when that happens, I'm just getting rid of his asking for the restaurant to be better. Let's come here for a minute and let's look at the bill. She needs 409 concrete stairs and 933 white concrete. So this is going to take a long time. 351 and 134. This is going to take months for Elena to do, and we're going to get her started on it. This is one of the things that we need. Well, at least Mr. Villager is saying, I think we can ensure that we have one aspect between our peoples. Maybe, would it be equality? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. That we absolutely agree on that. All right, so Elena is going to come and begin working. That's one of the couriers coming and getting milk and meat from Rayange. And Rayange is up here. Uh-oh, how did you get in here? Get out. Come on, get out. Get out. How did you get in here? Get out. Get out. You and your kid. Let me get some grass for a minute or some wheat. Hold on. Oops, wrong thing. Back to here. Wheat. Okay. Let's see here if I have WHEAT. And let's take one piece of this and let me see if I can put it in my hand and get them to come out of there. Or are you stuck? Are you actually stuck? You got in and you can't get out? Let's see if I can lead them out with a lead. This is an interesting thing. I didn't think this was going to be a problem, these doorways. I'm sure that Mubian did not think it was going to be a problem either. And the little calf is going, I want some milk. I can't get any milk. All right. Here's what we're going to have to do. Let's break the door. Let's bring her out. Let's put her here. And let's get this one out. Let's get all of these kids out of here. Come you. Come on you. Come on. Come on, you come here. That's it. No. Let's get you out. There like that. And now let's put the door on super quickly. Let go of that one and put the door here. Close the door. And now that should be okay for right now. Okay, that's a problem. And if that's a problem, are we going to lose them here? I don't know. They shouldn't use that because there's no ladder there. I think they just followed him out the door and got stuck. So that's going to be something we're going to have to look at. I don't think we're going to be able to use this. I think we're going to have to use the scaffolding elevator. But we'll see when it gets up to a level 5 if that changes. Why don't we do that right now? Let's come down and see if at level 5 that's going to be scaffolding. Now thinking if equality would be our infinite related to economy of resources, which would be ours when related to survival and thriving and social would be a good way to say. I don't know. I actually don't. I mean, community, community sounds good to me, or something like that. Anyone else in chat? Anyone want to join in? You can. And a good way to define more precisely how we interact with each other as also what would be our profiles in this strange cubic world. Community. I absolutely think that these are communities, and that's important. Communities depend on each other. Every person in the community is integral to the community. It's one of the reasons why I don't like the word nitwit used to describe in Minecraft the non-working members of a village, because they could be artists or they could be people who haven't made a decision on what they're going to do yet, and I just don't like that. I think it's a derogatory term, and I don't like it at all. Everybody is important to the community just by the fact that they are there and add things. You're just using Frostpunk 2 as a base, but who knows what defines more right. Like, we have adaptation as core, but would progress be mine? Progress? I prefer community. I prefer that as a definition. If you're talking about what we are, I think I prefer that to some economic labels, because even without money or that kind of thing, we would still be a community in regards to taking care of each other and making things work for everyone, and everyone deciding for everyone together how things are going to be done and who's going to do them. I think it works. I like to think of it more as community than as some kind of thing like that. We have tradition as a core related to social. What would we say was at side of reason? Well, no insurers. Anyway, let's not burn our minds too much on all this madness right now. I'm reading what Mr. Villager is saying in chat. I know, I like it. You know, I like when we talk about stuff like this. And it's a thing. I mean, what do we call it? What are we going to call it in the age of Aquarius? You know, we're certainly not doing capitalism here. We're not, doing things just to have the biggest, best house, or just to have the biggest, best restaurant, or things like that. That's not what motivates the people here to do what they're doing, or to accumulate, some giant house with some huge amount of land. That's not how these people are living. They're living, for one thing, here, which is really important, which is why this is, in fact, a sanctuary, is that they are living here in a way where they are not, they did not want to go to war. They wanted to have a choice other than war as a basis for why they are together. And so in that respect, with respect to that, this is underwater, this door here. So we're going to go to it. Just 1 second. This is Lillian's door. This is the enchanter, and this is her special door that she has. Is it nighttime? Is she asleep? Yes, she is. Look, there he is. There's Squeegee. There's Squeegee. Hi, Squeegee. Hi. But yeah, and here's a perfect example. I mean, the enchanter has a pet. The enchanter lives here. Does anyone desire to live the way she does? In that kind of way where they would be jealous of what she has or something like that. We don't have that. That's the thing. That if someone wants to live like that, then we'll make another enchanter. If they want to be an enchanter and live her life, then we'll do another enchanter in the same way that we have 3 smelters. We have stone smelters. We have, we have 3 stone masons. We have 2 stone smelters. We have 2 blacksmiths. We have the opportunity for people to do lots of different things. And yeah, I like talking about those things and doing those that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's fun. It actually is. All right, so let me think about who we have left, and if we have people who are not doing anything. Remember, we need some more couriers, so we might see if any of these kids are ready to fill those positions. And if they're not, you might need some more kids. This is the crazy thing. Usually, we don't have kids this close together, but because of how quickly we're growing, we actually need to allow more people to come live here. So let me look and see. We're going to go to one of the courier pieces here. I think this is a courier, a legitimate courier right here. Samira is here. This courier is no one. So we'll look here. Everly is the bookstore owner. Beatrix is the professor of architecture. She's a builder. Kari is a student, and they're upside down. The adaptability is larger than the agility. Let's see if we can find it the right side up. And we don't have it. All of them are upside down. Khalid. And because of that, I don't want to hire them here. I think we'd have to get some other people. We're close. We could do that on Thursday. Again, we could try again to get a new set of kids. And in the meantime, we can open up our borders. We can open up and allow for some Druids to find sanctuary here. And we can see if we can find some people who want to stay here. And let's do that. And no, I do. I like it, Mr. Villager, I do. But I have a tendency not to want to define things in terms of capitalism or economics in that sense, and to define things more in the sense of community. Then I prefer that. Let me think about going to the tavern and seeing if we have some people. I'm going to turn on so I can see them. What we are looking for is Druids, and Druids mean that their focus is huge, and their focus is the one that can't be denied. That if they have focus and mana, then they actually would have been chosen to be a druid without question. And there's Mana. There we go. And there's Elaine Badby. Elaine Badby is absolutely a druid. All she wants is potatoes. She wants baked potatoes. I think we can do that. We're going to have, wait. That's not the same person. That's not the same person. Hold on. Focus. Wow, that was close. It's like, wait, that's not her. Hold on. Where did she go? She was just sitting here a minute ago. Now we have bad bees here, so we can look and see who they are. But she is absolutely a druid. This is her right here. Let's look at her again. It says that she is, the mana is 26 in the focus. She is absolutely a druid. Adaptability doesn't matter so much. And what does she want? And of course she wants more. She actually wants lapis. Do we have that amount of lapis? I can get that lapis. I'll get it, and then we'll take it from the, and she stayed. Hello, welcome. Let me find your family for a minute. I'm going to house her here for a second so she's not homeless. And then let's go and look and see who the bad bees are. Let me put this away, this away. This is mine. So we'll put this right here. And let me think of something for a minute. Let me see who the bad bees are. So let me come over and let's do find. Let's find the name Bad Bee. B-A-D-B-Y. And let's look, there are 14. So it's Mira's family. So Mira's family is just a warrior family, period. Her cousin Blair Badby was in Rosa Oru and became a druid, and they are descendants of Judith Badby, who was a ranger at the Desert Border South Patrol, along with her family, Margaret Badby, who was a knight in the desert. These are all Omo people. Wow, way far back. And so there are a bunch, and here is another one of her siblings. So since this is one of her relatives, we're going to have her for a moment, just until she gets acclimated. We could have her just go ahead and live at the tavern and study. We're just going to have Michael at the university introduce her to everything, and then Mira and Laura, Mira's partner, would come and help. We'll put her in the dorm, and let's come over here rather than being in the town, in the tavern. Let's see how many here. Talon and Kari are kids. Let's put her, let's put her with some other adults for just a moment. We're going to go back here and see. We should have some adults here that we can put her with. And sure enough, there's River and Khalid. And so we're going to put her here. What's her name? She's a bad bee, and there's Eli and Nola. So these are all bad bees. There's Eli, and I'm not gonna find, I should find her because she's unemployed. Elaine. So we're going to assign her to live here, and Eli's going to be happy. He's going to get to introduce her to the community. And so we're going to have her be at the university. And so we now have one more person. We're going to hire her here, Elaine Badby. So let's come down to the list that we have. So she is seeking sanctuary, and we're hiring her as an adult, Elaine Ebadby, and she is a druid. So at some point she is either going to do reception or she's going to do exploration, but it's more than likely she's going to do reception. And this is her, she's going up and she's going to work right away. Good for her. And this is what happens. They are happy to be free to study and to look at things and work on things. And that's really fun. So that's the way we're looking at it. So Elaine is here. Let's see if there's anybody else, any other druids who are asking to be rescued. This is Liliani, and I think we looked at her, and she is in fact the focus and mana. Now, the reason we're not taking her is because she can get a job anywhere. She is not going to be a warrior necessarily, and that's what we're looking at. And then in here, Phoenix, I don't think that there's 15, the focus is 19. That's pretty good, but look at the agility. Look at the agility and the knowledge and athletics. He's got some big numbers. He can go anywhere and get any job. And let's look here. And this is a kid who's trying to find some place to be. And at this particular point, we can't take him right now. And let's look here. And this is Harper, who just came in. And she's the same. So she's a kid. She's closer to being a graduate than Ian is. But he's just visiting. He doesn't really want something here. Let me see you. What's going on with you? Look at you. You're full blue, June. You don't like Khalil's food? You want to go someplace else and eat? Is that what you're saying? And did we see Angel? I don't think we did. Angel wants diamonds. Interesting, but she's a child. She's actually a child. So she might be here with someone else visiting, because she is a child. And so what I'm saying is her skills
right away
are not strong enough. She hasn't had enough experience to be considered even. So we're just assuming that someone like Angel is just visiting and getting an opportunity to see what choices there are in life. And that's the way we like to do it. So I think that's all we're going to get out of this group of people right now. I don't think we're going to get anyone else. I'll try one more time just to see, but I think that's everybody. I think we looked at Harper. Harper, yep, she wanted cakes. And June's talking to the tourists because they ask her about the mystical site. She is the druid in charge of the mystical site, and that's what she's doing. Judah, I don't think I looked at you. There's a 23 focus with a 4 mana. Yeah, I think with that kind of focus, he can actually be some other type of person. He wouldn't be forced to be a druid, and that's what we're looking for. And so we'll leave them. We got Elaine, and Elaine joins our people. So this is going to be curious. I don't think she has, it's going to say that she has any family. I haven't seen the name Ginter in a long time. And there is focus at 14 and mana at 1. And that's pretty interesting. Let's see here. Who is this? This is River. River, what's the matter? You don't like the food at the restaurant? Let's go see if Nina is out of pizzas, because that's usually what it means, that Nina's out of pizza. See how many people are hungry? And Nina doesn't have any pizza anymore. Nobody likes her food. So let's come here and let's
What lovely
look
weather today.
and see what the inventory says. Sure enough, she only has the mushroom pizza. She doesn't have the plain pizza left. She's got a lot of soup, and this is what keeps happening. She keeps ending up with a ton of soup. 1, 2, 3, and no one's eating soup. 1, 2, 3. Let me take these away. These two right here. And see how many? 1, 2, 3. So we have one that can go back. And look how little food she has. And let's put these two in and see if we get a 64. So now we've got 64s that are going back to the warehouse because she has enough of that. You want to see what her menu looks like? She's supposed to have hand pie and hummus and lamb stew and both kinds of pizzas, apple pie. She is essentially out of food. And so if we wanted to do something, we maybe could borrow some food from one of the others. We could see if Mauricio has any pizzas that they can share. And we can do that. Let's close that for a second. Let's go look at Mauricio for a moment and see if he can give her some pizzas. And if he can't, then we'll check on some other things. We have to go past the warehouse so we can look. Who's this? You just remembered? You need to recommend a guy who is recording Minecolonies recently too. You won't believe he has a city of 200. I believe it. I believe it. Absolutely. Yeah. You know why I believe it? Because I'm at the point where I'm at, let's see what I have right now. I have 135, so I'm almost up to 150, and that's just 50 less. So I'm about 75 away from 200. And yeah, I totally believe it that he does. So yeah, there are lots of people who are playing, and it's really fun. It's fun to watch others because you get great ideas about stuff, and you see things where you're stuck or where you didn't think about stuff, and that's always really cool. So yeah, absolutely. Let's fortunately lost all of his are dying because he built it across a river and the people are simply drowning trying to cross it. But worse for you, in your opinion, is interesting. And this is a thing that can happen. is that if you build like a bridge or something like that, you really have to be careful, because you have to make it that they will follow the path, because a lot of times they'll just want to swim. And it's really important to get them to follow and to cross responsibly bodies of water. And that's one of those things that's really hard to do sometimes. Is this a false ceiling? Yes, it is, but this ceiling has a leak in it. Ooh, hold on, we need a sponge. Let's put a sponge here. A sponge isn't going to hold this out, but I think, yeah, I can't find the, did I find it? Okay, there's a stone missing from there. I'm going to have to check it, but I just didn't want that to run down here. So we'll put this here. We have to come back and work on that. He didn't deactivate automatic children born and auto hiring. Bodies of water. Yes. Yeah. Some people don't realize that you can do that you can deactivate. And some people don't want to. They don't want to be bothered. They just want people to come and to fill houses, and they'll find them jobs and to take the jobs. And you know, that's a different way of playing. You can play like that. That's a different style. Hold on for a minute. Jelly Bean would be having a fit. I don't think I've taken a drop of water in the last 2.5 hours. Okay. And I started to. Bodies on water? No. No. Crossing large waters, like some rivers they're fine with, and if rivers thank you. And if rivers get too, let's just put these away. If bodies of water are too big, in other words, if the river is really big, or if you're at the ocean or something, it's really easy to lose people in situations like that. That actually becomes the challenge to keep people alive. You can have a kind of colony where people die and you just replace them. You can have colonies like that. That's fine. You know, I mean, that's just a different style of playing the game and all. My purpose is always that I just love that they live here, that it's not empty. You know, people build amazing structures, and you go and visit, and there's nobody. Nobody lives there. And that's what I really like Minecolonies and Millionaire for. That's the thing that I love about it. That's pretty curious. Is his city, you saw truly city in years, and it makes you unnecessarily proud. It has 2 bridges over the same river. Nice. Yeah. I haven't had one of those in a long time. I think probably Omo was big enough to do that. Omo was. But yeah, that is pretty big. I've seen some big ones as a part of Minecolonies. Minecolonies, for those of you, has Discord. And on their Discord channel, they have showcases where people show their cities. And there are people who have big cities. And for some reason, one of them, they simply cross it civilized, and the other, they simply commit self-deleting in front of everyone. They drown, in other words. Some people are able to cross and they understand, and other people don't understand, and so they have trouble crossing over. Yeah, and well, you know how I feel when I lose people. How many people have we lost here? 3. And you know what happens, how I'm just torn apart by it. Some people aren't, you know, and so it's just a different way to play. I might be able to get up to 200. What usually happens for me is Minecolonies updates. And when Minecolonies updates, I've been using that as a sign to start a new city. And so right now, Minecolonies is Neoforge 21.1. When they update the entire mod beyond 21.1, then that will mean that this city, are you tripping? Let me go in here for a minute. That means that, nope, not there. Let's go in this side. That means that this city will be on its own. It will no longer need an ambassador, and that I am to move on to another city that does need an ambassador. And that's the way I look at it. That's how I do my cities. So we have this, however, will be the first one in a long, long time where we only have one city for 21, for Neo Forge 21 right now. We only have one city, and I could have another, but this was kind of an experiment to see. If you think about it, Mr. Villager, if you think about it, Krasno had, what, 100 and something people, and Rosa Oru had 100 and something people. So when I have 2 cities like that, I essentially have that number of people. They're just not living in the same city, and which would be interesting. So maybe this time we'll get to that. It depends on Minecolonies and how they're moving forward with their mod. And yeah, so we might actually be here for a fun long time. And the other thing too is, look how far we've gotten since November. I mean, this is actually pretty amazing considering that we started in November. I think it is for me. Maybe other people spend more time than I do. I don't have as much time beyond the stream that I'm working on this. So wait, was there already? No, there wasn't. Okay, good. Let's take that one there too. So we're just getting these areas where the top of the building is leaking. What I did was I took off of the top of the building foliage that was probably being used to keep those areas from leaking. And and now they are, and we'll just fix it. So this is how we are. We're putting panels in here, and hold on for a second. Oh, thunderstorm, you hear that? thunderstorm. Oh yeah, there we go. We've got thunder, people. The closest. Oop. It just stopped. Did it just stop raining? Oh no, it's raining. Okay, let me see. Where's the closest place that I can go where no one's living right now? Let's go down here. I have a feeling that the thunderstorm is over though, but we'll see if I can sleep. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. This house hasn't been given to anyone yet. And it is a thunderstorm. 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to sleep. Whoa. Okay, Mr. Villager. The other bridge people, it's just cross it. It's okay. The Killing Bridge people, ooh, the water is so pretty. Ah! Uh-huh. It's one of the reasons, for example, that I don't allow the builders to build houses that weren't meant to be built underwater. I don't allow them to build those. And the other thing that I do is I put in the roads. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in them dying. I'm not interested in any of that kind of stuff. So the story is that the builders from Tana, the Mermaid Nation, come and they help put things together.
What can I do for you?
Still want something in the restaurant? Oh, Greta, you're not eating. Let's come back here to Corinne. Corinne, it's either Corinne. Wait, Greta, you've been going and getting Chinese food or Asian food, not Chinese, Japanese actually, but Asian food. She's been going to Steffi's restaurant and getting food. Let me see what Steffi has to say. Hi, what's going on with you? What's happening with your food? You have muffins for breakfast. You have teas. You have quiche for breakfast. You have soup. You have trenchers and fish. Do you have any meat? Why don't you have any meat? Did I not give you any? Okay, so there's a problem. She doesn't have any meat. I believe a hand pie is meat. Let me look for a minute and see if a hand pie is meat. H-A-N-D. Yeah, it's beef and mushrooms and onion and garlic. That kind of seems like something that's not too removed from what she's serving. That we could have her serve that, or we could have her serve a steak dinner. Back here, there are farms back here. And those kind of match the foods that she's doing. Let's have her do both the steak dinner. Let's see how many pieces of meat the steak dinner is. A hand pie has 1 piece. Let me see how many steak. Okay. Is that, oh, this is lamb. Oh. And a steak dinner is potato. See, it doesn't seem like, yeah, the hand pie. Interesting. That is actually lamb. I like this better for what they would be serving here. And they're not going to serve potatoes. So we're going to put this here. Yeah, lamb. Actually lamb. So we're going to do hand pie instead of lamb stew. Let me look at lamb stew. Okay, I'm just looking at all of them now. Lamb stew, Lamb stew, is even more food. Whoa. So yeah, we're gonna do hand pie right here as a meat meal that they're going to have. So now they have fish, meat. Ramen doesn't usually have it. It's made with chicken, if I'm not mistaken. Chicken's. Why am I doing this? Hold on for a second. Chicken, and let's look here. Let's go to @Minecolonies, or we can just look at ramen. It's faster. And oh no, it doesn't have any chicken in it. So ramen is vegetarian. So that's good. So we have that. Spicy eggplant, stewed trencher. Those three are all vegetarian. And then we have sushi. So we have 2 fish and 1 meat. And down here, we don't have anything. Quiche. Let me look at this for a second. We could serve the baked salmon. Salmon's hard to get. And baked salmon is not, the fish and chips actually is salmon instead of cod. The fish dinner, which is up here, is cod. And that's something we can get in abundance. But beyond that, I don't know. There isn't anything that looks. Sometimes the pierogies, I can kind of pass the pierogies off. It's kind of like a European version of the Asian thing of like dumplings or something like that. Or what are they called? I have no words right now. I have no words for any of those kinds of foods. It's not dumplings. It's Vincent is sleeping. Let me think. Oh, I thought it was going to come to me, but it's not. So yeah, so we could do it like that, but pierogies like that. And say it's not pierogies that they're serving, but it looks like pierogies. In the same way that there are things in different countries that look like other things in different countries. And so we could do that, but I don't think I care so much about that. And this is Avery. Hi, Avery.
So, what'll it be for you?
What do you want? She doesn't have anything that you want. No, she's making her food. She's making her a special meal for lunch. And so she's waiting. And there it is. Oh, she wanted sushi. So, yeah. So that is what she got. And she's on her way. But she's not satisfied. So that means she might have actually wanted some kind of meat. And, yeah. You don't like lamb, Mr. Villager? You don't like lamb? Hi, Tristan.
What can I
up?
do for you?
You tell me. What's holding you up? Are you actually not making anything for a reason?
What can I do for you?
You said that already. Open requests. And you don't have anything, and you're fine. Okay. Okay. You haven't experimented with it yet? Ah, okay. Yeah. I am not a vegetarian. My family has never been one that had like 3 meals of meat a day. Usually I have meat maybe once or twice a week. And so, but I can't say I'm vegetarian or that I have objection to it. My objection is always to the way the animals are treated, that it disrespects them, the way people think about them. Let me come here, Danny. I'm just going to look and see if you got any more of what you needed. So far, he's gotten 9 of the concrete stairs, and he hasn't gotten any of the concrete as yet. You know something? If Case got concrete and no one else did, I'm actually going to stop him from building the dome, because he's getting supplies before anyone else. And it's like, how are you doing that? Everyone's going to ask. What is it that why you're getting this special treatment? So let's come here and look at Case for a minute and see. The farmers have been waiting for a long time. What? And he's actually done? He's actually done with what he was working on here. Let's go check it out. He's working on the dome, and you definitely prefer an entire pig than a piece of cabbage. Oh my goodness. You still remember a guy on Instagram saying these meat emojis that you use offend trillions of vegans across the world. Yeah, that is true. Look at this. Look at this. We're starting to have a dome. Yay! Well, luckily a dome is glass, mostly. And so we'll get Case to continue to work on it. He only needs 2, and panels are easier to get. I don't know whether there might be those panels already. So we're going to let him build it. All the colonists are tucked into bed. The mistake already starts at the trillions. Yeah, exactly. Yes, indeed. I don't think we're there yet. I really don't think so, much less a specific class of people, a specific definition or subgroup of people. I think he's exaggerating. I think he is. I think you are correct. He is exaggerating heavily. So we can go and to the warehouse and look and see how that's done. Oh my gosh. We're at the 3-hour mark. I'm still going to go for a minute and see how much sand we have and how much gravel, and see whether we can make a concrete, and then see if maybe we need another crusher. Will it make a difference? It might not. Sort first, then let's come here and let's see how much gravel we have. We have 10,000. And sand, we have 3. And so, yeah, we'll do that. You were just reminded of a little boy who said to be a pastor apprentice or something like that. He is Brazilian, so he didn't even know what he was saying. He preached things like King Fairy King, a pastor apprentice, offend, bastard, etc., all in English to a Brazilian crowd. I see. So in the way that there are some words that are used in the UK that are not okay over here, they can use those words freely in the UK, in the United Kingdom, but we can't use them on television. And yet they have words that we don't even think about, and they are bad words in the United Kingdom. So I know what you mean by that. So, yes. So here we go. Here I am. And here we are. We are standing outside of the Oaks Apartments. And this is where we're going to say goodbye for today. The best were the comments on Instagram. Yeah, I'm sure. They roasted him, didn't they? Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. That's what happens sometimes. It's a public forum. It definitely is. Okay, everyone. Mr. Villager, obrigado. Thank you for being here. Did you see that Lucas was here for 2 seconds? And so we're going to say obrigado to Lucas as well for being in chat. And thank you. Thank you. I know we didn't get to doing any decorating in the apartments. We'll get to it on Thursday, I think. The best part was you saw it through React. Basically, the woman reacting to it was like horrified. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Okay. We'll see you again. And bye for now. And everyone who's watching, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. And for those who are watching afterwards, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And here we go. We've been listening to Drone Hands music in the backgrounds. And now we're going to listen to Vincentius Primus's project. Excitable Me is the project. And this piece is actually the end of Coming Home. Hold on. Back to the Sea, I think is what this is called. And so, okay, here we go. Bye for now. Shame on me for not knowing. Bye for now.